been a while since any of my videos went viral. This baklava video simultaneously on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all over the social media went viral. I don't know what was majestic about the video, but we'll find out. Let's make it. It's quick and easy. I call this lazy baklava, or baklava as we call it in Armenian, because it's made with ready puff pastry dough. So that's the best part. You will need 3 pieces of those already made puff pastry sheets. One of them needs to be pre-baked, and I'll let you know why. I'll let you know later. So since my oven is already preheated 420 degrees, I'm gonna bake it about 20-25 minutes or until it's nice and golden color. And it's a good idea to place a cooling rack on top so it doesn't rise too much. We don't need that. While that's baking, we can make the filling, combine all the ingredients together and bake it forever. We need 4 eggs, but since these eggs are super tiny, I'm gonna grab 5 of them. They are from Happy Chickens, and Happy Chickens don't lay big eggs. Makes sense, right? I'm gonna separate egg yolks from egg whites. We'll need the egg whites from the filling and egg yolks for egg brush. And it's better to do that while the eggs are cold. But I don't keep them in fridge since these are super fresh. Well, fresh eggs, if you haven't placed them in the fridge, they can be set at room temperature. We're making meringue, regular simple meringue, and usually if you ever made a meringue, proportions for 4 egg whites is a cup of sugar. I'm not gonna add full cup because at the end we're gonna pour hot honey over the baklava, almost 1 cup, so it's gonna be enough sweet. So I'm adding 3/4 of a cup sugar, and let this wait for a second. I don't want the noise from mixer interrupt us. For the aromas or spices or flavors, we're gonna need nutmeg. Nutmeg, I never measure the nutmeg, probably less than 1/4 teaspoon. Yes, something around that. I don't know if you ever measure your nutmeg. You can measure it. It's a pretty strong spice, so you don't put it too much. Also, I'm gonna use 4 of the cardamom cloves. Cloves? Do you call them cloves? You're gonna crush them into a powder. All these spices are kind of optional to your taste. If you don't prefer any of those, you can skip them. But if you don't skip them, you're gonna have even more flavorful baklava. This is clove powder. A tip of the spoon will be enough. Cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon. Please use it. It's not gonna taste good without cinnamon. I say 1/2 teaspoon, but I always eyeball it. Okay, let's pretend it's 1/2 teaspoon. That's it. Basically, most of the aromas are in this mixture. Later, I'll let you know what else I'm using. Let's not mix you up. So let's start on mixing the meringue, and we'll go from there. I'm gonna start on low mode and then go a bit faster. And as soon as it becomes nice and thick and stiff, it's ready. This is ready. All right, I'll take this out and wait for the meringue to be ready. Look, it's nice and baked fully and completely. The reason you need to pre-bake this, because when you place an extra sheet of puff pastry in between with those walnuts, meringue, and in between two other layers, it may not bake properly, and you don't want to eat raw, uncooked dough. That's why you need to pre-bake it. Okay, now you know the secret. I'll let this here to cool down a little bit. And higher the speed. I'm gonna add a drop of vanilla. Although we have all those spices, vanilla adds its own charm to the baklava taste. Just a teaspoonful, just like so. It's ready. Now I'm adding all my spices. I forgot about the walnuts. I'm making baklava with walnuts, although you can make it with pistachios, with almonds, with hazelnuts, anything you like. I lightly, only a few minutes, toasted walnuts because I think that way they have special like aroma. It's 350 degrees, 5 minutes until they release that wonderful aroma. You don't have to. You can just make with regular not toasted nuts. Don't bother with meringue to be perfectly perfect because you're gonna bake it. Eventually it will end up being soft and smooth. I'm adding the most important flavorings. Walnuts, you can crush them in your processor. You can use your rolling pin and crush them in a Ziploc, or you can go by a traditional classic way of chopping, slicing them with regular knife. This is ready. Give it a mix and the mixture is ready. Now the fun part. You will need a regular baking sheet. These are 10 by 15 inches. I guess they come all in standard sizes as far as I know, or at least a half an inch here and there difference, but nothing will change if you have a bit more or less of the dough. I'm not rolling out the dough whatsoever because this is already pretty thin dough. If yours is thick, you might need to slightly roll it, just a little bit, like an inch or so. This is from Restaurant Depot, if you're asking. Very good quality puff pastry they have. Eyeball your mixture in 2 equal parts and spread it out on first layer. Oops. It happens. Nice and thin. Looks nice and even. This goes in the center. That goes on the floor. It's normal, it's okay. And the rest of the mixture goes on top of this already pre-baked layer. This smells so good already. You can even taste it if you like, if no one is watching. It's delicious. Here goes the last layer. Simply cover it and lightly kind of tap it to stick it together. Not too hard though. You don't want to break that layer as of yet. You may need 2 or 3 egg yolks, or maybe even 1 egg yolk if it's a large egg. These are so small. I'll use 2. If you want to mix the egg yolk with some milk or cream or water to break it down a little bit, you can do that. I never do it. Nothing happens. It's not very eggy. It turns out just perfect. Last step before baking, you're gonna cut it into small, medium or large squares, diamonds or whatever other shape you want to cut them into. First, don't cut it yet. Pre-measure it, do the lines, or if you want to be exact, grab your measuring tape and go after it, feel free. I'm not gonna do that. I'll use my eyeballing skills, just like so. Now it's okay to cut. We can cut it till the end, but it's gonna stick together as it bakes. Slightly stick together. I'll show you what to do. I like slicing mine into diamonds. Last one. Oven to 375 degrees, preheated, ready for the baking. I'm gonna bake this about 30 to 35 minutes, but 5 minutes before I take it out, I will need to warm up the honey. And I'll show you how I do it. You can do it on the stove or simply place it in your oven. Let me put the timer not to forget. 30 minutes. These are completely optional, orange blossom water and rose water. If you like it like the most flavorful, fragrant baklava, you add this as well. If you like simple, regular, just flavorful, skip this. About a tablespoon of this orange blossom water and a teaspoon or even a bit less rose water, because it's pretty strong. You don't want to overpower your baklava with this. So this is so full, just like so. This is just enough. It smells amazing, but you don't want that smell to be all over the place. And I'm gonna wait until it's slightly baked. We're almost done. Simple, lazy baklava. I'm gonna enjoy my coffee while it's baking. Time is too precious. In about 30 minutes, it should look like this. Beautiful golden color. This is when you need to slice it one more time and pour over melted honey. Melted or slightly warmed up honey. And I slightly warmed it up, as long as it looks like this, runny. While it was baking, it kind of got together again. So you want to separate them so the honey goes in properly and absorbs into the dough, or like walnut. Alright. Just make sure to cover each and every single diamond. And in between. For some reason I sliced them so big this time. The more the merrier. It's gonna be super sweet. So delicious with your tea. We're not wasting any single drop of honey. I didn't turn off the oven yet, but I'm gonna place this in the oven, turn it off and let it sit there for about 5 to 10 minutes. Could you please open the oven? It's so heavy. okay to turn it off. 5 minutes. You can use your manners, fork, knife, however you like, or you can just be normal human. It's flaky, flavorful, still slightly warm, and so delicious. Recipe will be on my blog at heghineh.com. Link in the description. Check it out, make it, and I really hope you like it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you soon.